So, for reasons that I will get into, we've kind of skipped an episode and we've just gone to the end of the season because we were looking like we were just going to bustle the second half of the season. But actually, we have found ourselves in a position where we are still going to finish in a Champions League place. Just in order to do that, we just have to do a couple of little things. The first one, beat my former club Southampton. Second one, beat Manchester United. How you doing, everybody, and welcome to part 6 of Club 4 here on MyCareer on FM23. I'm Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video where, former club Southampton and Manchester United currently find themselves doing very well indeed at the top of the table. How could it possibly go wrong? And if you're excited to see how these two games go, do not forget to leave a like on the video for me and subscribe so you don't miss any of the nonsense that comes out of this face right here. Since you were last with us, oh boy, things took a turn. It wasn't good. Look at that month of February. So, you were last with us around the Man United-Man City game. Back-to-back losses, but we did pick things up with a couple of wins against West Ham United and a blitz of Liverpool, which was lovely. Then a draw against Spurs. I can live with that, followed by an absolute mauling against Arsenal. Oh, I played this one on my laptop, and I was at work on my break while I was playing it, and I wanted to pull my hair out. It was absolutely atrocious. We then decided to have a bit of a play with formation. We ended up playing with a 4-3-3 with wide players, actually. We used a couple of players out wide, Hishek and Ratcliffe, and that looked a little bit better, so we committed to that for Everton, and it really didn't work that well. We then lost 3-2 against Leicester, and at that point I was thinking we need to do something, and the something we did was we ended up going with the diamonds. And we've committed to that ever since. We've had a little bit of a play around with it, which was in this period here. But we won against Norwich 3-0, lost against Newcastle 3-2. And with that diamond, we actually had the two fullbacks playing as wing-backs. Brought them down after this game, and since then it's been great. Battered Stoke 5-0. Okay, there was a draw against Leeds there, but a 2-0, a 4-0, and a 3-1 in the last 3 games. Yes, bear in mind the nature of the opponents, but still, looking really, really good. I will say, however, the Newcastle game really rankles me because 93rd minute was a goal for Ederson. It was 92 minutes of added time. That's what there was. Nothing happens in the 90th minute in order to create a third minute. So I feel really aggrieved about that particular result. But we have picked things up. Things are looking okay. Things are looking nice. I did massively fall out with our boy Elias, who is still knocking around here somewhere. A Comac, he's unhappy still. He's transfer listed. He didn't think I would transfer list him, but he thought that our team talk against Everton, the Everton game that we lost over here 2-1 against, was harsh. No one agreed with him. I put him on the transfer list. Funnily enough, no one's come in for him, but we have recovered. So as it stands right now, we are second with 2 games to go. Now, Spurs and City both have a game in hand. They both win those games in hand. They go ahead of us on to 76 points. So that would put us in 4th in direct line of Newcastle. And most importantly, Arsenal, who, if they win their game in hand, will go on to 72 points. Will be 3 points behind us. So the win against Southampton will kind of cement things for us, I think. If my maths is correct, and I do believe it is. But we can't count our chickens just yet. I mean, the title's obviously out of reach completely, which is fine. It's about where we finish in this top 4. We do still have a chance of finishing second. Now, bearing in mind that horrible set of results, Dimitri is still second on the clean sheet list. That is a result. Pinamonti is also still the second best player in the league. And he's still top in the goal chart, because Erling Haaland's got that covered with 41 goals. He's top in the assist chart. So Barzilai's 3rd as well. In terms of goals, actually, if we have a look, it's Carl Ratcliffe and Pinamonti leading the way for us. Ratcliffe was having a really bad mid-season, but ever since we've gone to the Diamonds, oh my word, he's come to life. 18 goals this season, looking like the player we knew he would be. Skinner has dropped down the pecking order, but I do suspect Pinamonti, probably within the next couple of months, is going to start dropping a little bit more, and they will switch places, and Skinner will become the goal scorer that we know he can be, and I am very excited for when that happens. But anyway, enough of that nonsense. Let's actually get to the game, shall we? Oh, one other thing, which I think you probably noticed when I looked at the squad. We made another signing, and it's kind of bankrupted the club a little bit. So, transfers. Before I go anywhere else, let's have a look at this screen and just confirm what we did. So, you knew about Albergi. I'm pretty sure you knew about a Comac. I'm pretty sure we had sorted that out or were in the middle of sorting that out. So, Jurien Timber finally got fit enough to be sold, and we moved him on for £54 million to Arsenal because Arsenal have got more money to spare than God. So, he went over there, art imitating life, and, well, we had that money to play with. So, I banked that Diego Tapia we could spend. I can't remember exactly how much it was up front. It's a lot of money for him, by the way. I am aware of that. But it was something like 45 million up front. Because I thought to myself, no matter how much money comes off the Jurien Timber deal, we're going to get more than 45 million or around that, and we can make it work. We got 36 million pounds added to the transfer budget after that, which meant we could get the deal done. But it's done this to the finances. So we're 88 million pounds in the hole. We've lost 3 million so far this month. We've lost 71 million this season. We're over the wage budget. Although we do have a transfer budget of 6 million, which I don't know where that's come from. Which actually, that almost balances things out. I don't know where that money came from. I genuinely don't. It's not a transfer budget. That's just appeared out of nowhere. I don't know whether we got a clause or something that gave us some money, but it's nearly solved the problem, actually, which is nice. But yeah, so that did kind of wreck the club a little bit. But Jurien Timber is out, and we got in a very, very good defensive kind of playmaking midfielder. Okay, his flair's not that good, but actually he has been pretty decent since he's come in. But he's actually been quite solid as a playmaker without actually getting any assist. Well, not a lot of assists, I should say. 5 goals, 1 assist in the appearances he's had all season. But if we have a look at the appearances he had for us, it's actually 7 starts, 2 sub-appearances, 2 goals, 1 assist. So he barely had done anything for Southampton of note this season. If you just look at him for us, he's looked pretty tasty. And I'm very happy with that. So that is the formation that we are using. And we have been using. The only difference is Szoboszlai on the bench because he's recently been injured. Hijek, who is happy with how he's been played as an advanced forward this season, now doesn't care where he plays. He's playing as that attacking midfielder and has done pretty well in the last couple of games, actually. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get into the game. So, it is Dimitri in goal, Edmilson, Albergi, Durica and Antonio Silva in defence, Balaric, Mount and Tapia supporting Hijek in the middle with Pinamonti and Ratcliffe up front. Now, Marlon Boa suspended. He had a suspension that's been extended for 2 games. He's missing this game and the final game against Manchester United. Sad times. That is why Antonio Silva is playing as left-back. David Raum is also playing as left-back. Well, he's playing on the bench as left-back because I don't trust him quite as much. And he's also retiring next season, so we will need a left-back next year. That is worth pointing out. But let's just see what we can do, shall we? Let's see if we can get 3 points against our former club, Southampton. We are at home for this game. I can't remember what happened in the last game that we played against Southampton. I think we won, but I can't remember for sure. I'll try and remember to check after the game. But yeah, it's been a bit of a ropey period, and apologies because I always forget to do this. But I'll continue talking rather than editing. It's been a ropey period, I'm not going to lie. But we have seemed to have settled now. We've gone to the old diamond. It took going to the diamond to settle things down. Why am I not getting... This is weird. Why am I only... If I press play, will it snap into place? Yes, it will. Oh, that worried me for a second. But yeah, we had to kind of have a bit of fiddles and tinkers with formations and stuff. But I think we've settled on the one that we're going to be going forward with. I was, again, as mentioned before, we did try a 4-3-3 with the holding midfielder. And for like a game or two, it did look like it maybe had solved the problem. It definitely didn't in the end, and we've ended up going back to a wingless system. But actually, that attacking midfielder makes such a difference. I know that we'd moved to the 4-1-3-2 with the 2 Mazzalas, and that was effective, but there were some games where the strikers were just so isolated. This system, that attacking midfielder just seems to be really helping with the squad that we've got. And the 2 midfielders, the Mazzala and the deep line playmaker, are getting involved in stuff. And it's good to see as well, the deep line playmaker is not just there to make up the numbers. Even if the assists aren't flowing, the goal contributions in general are actually, and it's been great to see. Now, the one concern I have got is that this is mostly still my Southampton team that I put together. Orlando is there, Lethan is there, Veloso is there, Fofana is there, Guardian is still there, Thomas is there, Jimenez is there, but Hoyenhal is there as well, so maybe, just maybe, he will make an issue. Shoulder up as well, but he's gone off injured. It is interesting to see them lining up. I thought he'd made a mistake then and bundled it into the net. It is interesting to see them line up in a 4-4-2, but considering they no longer have Tapia, in their squad, and Pinamonti's gone as well. Actually, I think it makes a lot of sense to get the players in that they have, although there's no Vinstra. I forgot his name for a second. There's no Vinstra in the team, and I think that's the one thing that's missing. But they're not missing Carmen Guardian, and they're not missing Michael Holdford, who's got the assist as well. Oh, this would suck if Southampton cost the Champions League football, because they've had an underwhelming season compared to the last 4 years they've had. They've finished out, though, they're currently outside the top 4. But yeah, I would be gutted if it was Southampton who cost us Champions League football, because let's face it, United's going to be the really, well, in theory, should be the really tough game. But they, oh my word, what a ball that is over the top for Orlando. And Orlando has just utterly killed us with that finish. And we've got to go attacking now. Huge ball over the top. We're going to try and do something about that. I'm not bothered about crosses. I want to trap boys outside. No, I don't, because actually, their crossing's really good. Oh my word. This is literally, possibly, the worst thing that could have happened. 2 early goals like that. What a ball it is, by the way. Is it Moretti or does it go... Oh, it goes to Holford, doesn't it? Playing on this left-hand side. He's come on for shoulder up and he's just immediately made such an impact. I mean, Tresoldi is what? 6 foot. He's decent in the air. Orlando, not that good, I don't think, in the air, but still very decent. I mean, we've dominated them, but they're 2 goals ahead. So now it is all about damage limitation. Can we just avoid losing and get a point out of this game? At least then we're not losing ground on the teams around us. Well, we're still losing ground, but at least we're still trying to kind of get the clock of points ticking up. I know what I'm trying to say. Ratcliffe into Pinamonti, and Pinamonti may have a goal against his former club, may not. There is a tight offside here. I'm not 100% sure whether this will be given. I did worry in the build-up there might be an offside, and there wasn't, but it obviously was tight. We have a goal back near half-time, and Carl Ratcliffe involved Pinamonti with the goal. They've been the other way round recently. Pinamonti's been the one assisting, and Ratcliffe has been the one scoring, but they do really well there, and Pinamonti against his former club makes it 2-1, and that makes me feel better going into the second half. Jurica has had a horrible first half, so I think he will be subbed at half-time. I think also so will Antonio Silva. So, I think, let's say that one. Keep playing and the result will come, and we'll tell these 2 off for not playing well. And we'll tell the goalkeeper off as well, because he's not played that well either. But he's been stellar all season, so I don't want to be too harsh on him. Right, Derica's coming off, and we're going to bring on Eric Garcia. Or do we put Antonio Silva there? No, I think we make a clean break. Eric Garcia comes on, and Silva comes off for David Ram. I think that is the wise thing. Oh, to be fair, Ram's dropped down. I'm actually now thinking Quentin Timber, maybe. Quentin Timber can't really play that. What about Reece James? No, not really. Okay, David Ram it is, obviously. By the way, Philip Van Eijden has actually come back to full fitness just in time for the end of the season and has actually scored a couple of goals, which has been really nice to see, actually. We're not keeping him next year, but it's been nice to see him do that. Right, so Bosley is coming on as well. He's been sensational in this system, and let's just get him on the pitch and see if he can do a bit of magic for us. Let's just give it a go. Right, you 3, get on there and do some magic. Right. Fire up. Come on, boys. Let's see whether we can do this. Let's see whether we can do this. Spurs and City still, by the way, have 2 games to play. They're not playing at the moment. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens when they do play. Arsenal are winning their game and still have a game in hand, of course. And this also helps Southampton cement a European spot. Maybe not a Champions League spot, but it does help them cement Europa League football next season. Right, to Peter Szoboszlai, Ratcliffe, Mount. Lovely passing from us. Big ball over the top to Pinamonti. Pinamonti for the equaliser. It's a save from Hoyenhall. It is still 2-1, but we are having chances. Corner now. It's Szoboszlai to take. He's going to be looking for the big head of Albergi. Big, tall man. He ended up going for Eric Garcia of all people, which is infuriating, but we have another throw-in. The pressure is on. Right, Ratcliffe looking for options. Back to Ram. Ram to Pinamonti. Into Ratcliffe. Wasn't that beautiful? And it deserved a goal at the end of it, but a goal it did not get, and it remains 2-1 to Southampton. Listen, if we lose today, I'm not going to be too upset. We know how good this Southampton team are. We put it together ourselves, but I will be frustrated that we have played at moments as well as we have, but we've also slipped up massively in moments as well. And I remember what I was going to do. I wanted to get the ball out to the fullbacks rather than to the centre-backs. Right, can we intercept there? We can't. Moretti's into Holford. That's going to be 3. It is 3. It's been checked for offside. I don't think it is offside. I think Southampton, after this really nice run we've been on, have gone 3-0 up. 3-1 up, sorry, I should say. They have gone 3-1 up. It's poor from us. It's so poor. I'm actually going to berate the defence. I'm going to berate the team, because we should be doing better there. And the keeper hasn't done himself many favours either. But Albergi's doing okay. Eric Garcia, actually, I would argue, is the one at fault there. We're going to swap these 2 rounds. You're going to go to defend. Eric Garcia is going to stay defend as well, because I don't trust him to do much else. In fact, he's going to be a central defender on defend. I just do not trust him at all. Right, Mason Mount is tired, but he's having a good game, so I kind of want to leave him on. 2 strikers are doing okay, but Pinamonti is frustrated. I mean, I'm tempted to put Van Eijden on, just to put a cat amongst the pigeons. I am genuinely tempted, because he did so well the other day. I mean, I'd want to take the frustrated players off, I think. But I don't want to make all my changes, so we'll leave Balarik on. And we'll see if Van Eijden can do something. I know I've said his name about 5 different ways in this one game. Van Eijden. I mean, there's 2 different ways for you there. Right, Mouse, forwards, Pinamonti. Pinamonti can't squeeze it past Hoyenhal. How many chances has Pinamonti had? That is one of the reasons why we've taken him off. And on comes Van Eijden. And we're going to hope that he can do something. One thing I am going to do, actually, though, is swap him and Ratcliffe around. Ratcliffe can play well as the advanced forward. We've got a few minutes left before I make my usual final change. I mean, Brown has been outclassed today, it has to be said. Helps with a press play. That's a fair point. Right, I want to fire the boys up in this, what will be one of the last calls we give. And I want to make one more change now, just to try and get things over the line. Right, Mount and Tapia both knackered. Tapia has not really done a lot, so I think Nicholas Harris has to be the one. Come on. Unless we make a different change. And I'm actually thinking, bring Skinner on. Boslai drops to playmaker, which he can do, and he's done it quite well when we've called upon him to do it. And Ratcliffe drops down to be a shadow striker. And we go with a Skinner, Van Eijden, Ratcliffe triangle. And I think we just go for it now. Let's just see whether Alan Skinner, who has fallen out of the team, can just get us at least 1 goal to kind of put a cat amongst the pigeons. And Skinner ran the wrong way there. I mean, Skinner has been out of the team for some time, and I wish Van Eijden wasn't the striker on there. I wish it was one of the quicker boys in that position, because I think one of them could have caught it. Right, Ratcliffe's nicked the ball here into Van Eijden. Van Eijden looking for options, goes back to Szoboszlai. Big ball over the top, but it's just too hard, and Hoyenhal on it. I think we've lost this game. I'm pretty sure we've lost this game. I mean, if you compare our squad to Southampton's, I think, in all honesty, goalkeeper, I think our goalkeeper is much better. I think defensively, I think their defence is better, if I'm honest. Midfield, I think their midfield is better. I think our forward line is definitely better than theirs, just because it's got a bit more variety. Right, we've got the goal back. We've got 5 minutes left to get another one, and Alan Skinner has got the assist. So we've got a chance. It's an unlikely chance. It's an unlikely chance, but it is a chance. Right. I am moving these guys forward. Risky, I know. I'm also making you attacking. And Szoboszlai can be an advanced playmaker. And let's just see what we can do. I think I'm not going to edit this too much. No, I'm not going to do early crosses because we've got a relatively slow guy there. I want to make changes that will help us, but I don't know what those changes are. Right. Then we'll just go with it. Right, kick off. Cole Palmer on. But yeah, again, goalkeeper, I think we win. Defence, midfield, I think they win. Forward line, I would say we win if I'm being honest. I think our 3 strikers are better than their 2. I think Orlando is the best striker out of all of the strikers. But I think our strength in depth is better. However, that's only in the forward line. The rest of the squad, they have better strength in depth. They've got better young players. The amount of talent we amassed, both through transfers and through youth system, is obscene. And they've gone and got another goal. We've gone to attacking, and they've gone and capitalised on it. I mean, This might be given offside. None of the others were. I've got a feeling it will be given. Yeah, it has been 4-2. And I am very disappointed to be losing against Southampton. But do you know what? It is what it is. They're a very good team. But we have, match stat-wise, dominated them today. So I am very unhappy. And I am going to be telling certain individuals that they absolutely sucked today, because they did, in the nicest possible way. But the rest of the team did a decent job. I mean, Szoboszlai and Garcia didn't. Neither did David Rahm. There's some very, very poor performances out there, but there's also some good ones. Now, how does that affect us going into the final day? Because as it stands, we're still second, but Spurs and City both have 2 games on us. I would expect them to leapfrog us. Now, Southampton have a game as well, which would put them level on points with us, but but on goal difference, unless it's a 1-0, you'd expect them to go ahead of us. So, we might miss out on Champions League football here because of that result. We actually might. And we've got top of the table United left. Who are just absolutely killing it this season. I don't know what's going to happen. But I know we need to have a serious think about what happens if we don't get in the Champions League. Because this is really helped by us getting in the Champions League. Don't get in the Champions League, we got a problem. And attracting players to turn this from a team with very, very good players into a team that is just a very, very good team. That difference is Champions League, because those players won't want to come to us. We lose... Where is he? We lose Balarik if we don't get into the Champions League. We need results to go in our favour. No pressure. It is time for the final game of the season against Manchester United, but before we get there, a quick look at how those last few games that the other clubs have gone and where we currently stand. So, we're currently guaranteed to be in the Conference League. That much is assured, but we could finish as low still as 6th, depending on how results go. We are currently on 75 points. Arsenal have the same amount of points and the same goal difference, the same exact record. So, we need to better Arsenal's record, or at least hope that they don't better what we do today. What am I doing? Why am I clicking there? Ah, it's all going horribly, horribly wrong. Why? Let me disappear. Please go. No one wants you. Thank you. So that's what we need to do. We need to match or better the game that Arsenal have. We need to try and do that. Ahead of us, it's Man City and Spurs. They're only a point ahead, so we could go ahead of them if we beat United and results go our way. Newcastle are playing Arsenal. So, if we lose and Newcastle win, they could leapfrog both of us. So we also have to keep an eye on Newcastle. The ideal... There's not... I mean, not actually an ideal result, because if they draw, we need to beat Man United. That makes things nice and easy. We need to beat Manchester United, because if either Arsenal or Newcastle win and we don't, they go ahead of us. Unless Newcastle draw. If Newcastle draw and we get a draw... Sorry. If Newcastle win... I can't get my words right. Right. Okay. Let me put this another way. If we draw, then either it has to be a draw for Arsenal and Newcastle, or a Newcastle win. If we lose, we're in trouble, because one of them are going to overtake us regardless. So we either need to win or draw. Basically, don't lose. So that was a long way to get to that. This is the 11 we're going with. It's pretty much the same 11 as before. There's like 1 or 2 changes in here. It's Dimitri in goal, James, Derica, Albergi and Antonio Silva in defence, Balarik, Mount and Tapia supporting Kishek in the midfield, with Pinamonti and Ratcliffe up front. So, changes. Reece James is in because we do have an injury to Edmilson, so he's out of the squad. Marlon Boa is still suspended, so Antonio Silva is going to deputise as the fullback again. I do want to double check what he prefers to play there. He prefers to be a fullback on support. I am going to let him have that in the hope that he gets a decent performance, because we want to do whatever we can to try and support him. As a result, I've moved Derica, the cover defender, over to the other side, because if he's going to be more defensive and he's got Tapia here anyway, might as well have Derica covering over here, because Albergi's got this covered. That's the thought process. And yeah, Antonio Silva's in because I don't trust David Rahm. He's just too old, I think, at this point. I don't think he's going to quite have the ability do the job. He looks quite slow and sluggish in the last game, but I am giving Derica another chance despite what happened in the last game. So let's go. Let's see what happens. a draw minimum. But then we need to hope Arsenal don't win. As long as Arsenal don't win, if we can get a draw, that'll do. I have done a team meeting to try and maximise happiness in the circumstances. We've done what we can. But, yeah, I mean, they've had a loss and a draw in their last 5 games. They're not invincible, but they have got some team. So we just need to hope that we have enough in us to get past them. We are at Old Trafford as well, which, of course, makes things really not ideal. Are we distributing to the centre-backs? Yes, we are. Brilliant. Let's just see what happens. We'll keep an eye on the games as we go as well. It is Arsenal and Newcastle is the main one we need to keep an eye on. I don't really care about Tottenham and Man City. That doesn't affect us. Newcastle, Arsenal. That's the one we need to keep an eye on. And we're hoping, as long as we do not lose, a draw is perfect. A draw is absolutely perfect as long as we do not lose. Capital is now in the box though, trying to get it to one of their players. It's ping-ponged around and we managed to clear it out. We get a bit lucky there. Opportunities have been a bit scarce for us so far. Manchester United having all of the chances. We need to try and insert ourselves into this game just a little bit, maybe a little bit more physically. Pinamonti doing a great job there and we do win possession. Right, Derica to Balaric now, into Tapia. Tapia, James just overhits it but gets the ball back. Mount now, of course in Man United in real life. Derica now. Into Mount looking for options to Pinamonti, Tapia, Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe loses the ball at the crucial moment, but we try and get it back. But Van der Even now on the ball, out wide to Lamptey. And here come Man United. We had some lovely little footwork there, but we just misplaced one pass, and that's all it takes. And Capital is in, and Capital makes it 1. And that's how it starts. That is how it starts. And I don't know what to do now. I genuinely don't know what to do. Reece James, you can blame a little bit over here for losing possession, but we did get it back, so don't know whether I feel comfortable doing that. And Arsenal go ahead now because of the draw. That's the issue we have if we don't at least get a point in this game. That is the issue we're going to have. We need to get the ball, and we need to get it soon. We need to not concede another goal. Right. What else can we do? I mean, we're pressing these guys. Carl Ferguson's going in. We're going in strong on him. Capital, let's go in strong on him as well. Let's just try and insert ourselves into these boys. Evan and Ndika, I would say, is more of a. A defender. So let's press him and try and stress him out. I'm going to press Washington Louise as well. Let's just see if we can put some of these lads under pressure, and hopefully, we can start to get things working with them. I mean, Jadon Sancho's done really, really well. But we have possession. Right, Ratcliffe into Antonio Silva. Over to Albergi. Albergi now back to Silva. Ratcliffe on the ball. Looking for Pinamonti. He's found him. And Andrea Pinamonti, unless the referee does something silly here, has equalised for us. But we need it to be confirmed. And the referee has awarded the goal. We are level. And as it stands, we'd be going through to the Champions League next season. It's wonderful work, and it's Ratcliffe with the ball over the top to Pinamonti. It's exactly what we wanted Ratcliffe to do at the start of the season in that deep line forward role, and we've got it working for him. And Pinamonti is the man who heads it in, and we now are level. And as things stands, we will, it hasn't updated there, but we would be going into the Champions League. We need to improve our shots. We definitely do. I'm going to say, happy, keep it up. I'm not that happy, but I want to motivate the boys. We've gone out there, we've got a goal. Let's just not ruin it, yeah? Let's just not ruin it. Right. All you lot, not good enough. You, keep going. There's no one left, really, because everyone else is playing okay. The 2 strikers are playing well, though. We'll tell the goalkeeper, you're not that bad, but keep going. Right. Fire the boys up. If we can go and get a winner, I'd be even happier. But, again, in this scenario, Arsenal can't win. I'm happy for Newcastle to win, not by that many goals. To be fair, actually, their goal difference is such that it wouldn't matter. But really, we need to maintain this and just hope Arsenal don't get a foothold in their game. As it stands is perfect if we can just keep it like this, but I don't know whether we'll be able to. But if we can get a win, it eases everything. Jadon Sancho's in, but we defend it with our lives. Tapia heads it sort of clear as far as Ashby. Ashby now, looking to cross it in. We've let him run into the box. It's in and it's over. Oh, my word. Oh, boys, come on now. Come on. Reece James is not having a good game. Right, substitutions are being made. Reece James is coming off. I am going to bring on, I think, Quentin Timber. I don't... No, Quentin Timber's going to come on for Blaric because Blaric's not having a good game. We're going to bring on, I think, Eric Garcia. Because although I don't really trust him, don't mind him playing out wide, and we'll play him as a fullback. Play him as a fullback. I'm going to change to Pia as well, to a Mazzala to get a bit more width out. And I am going to take Hijek off. I'm going to take him off for Sabozlai. And I'm going to have him be a playmaker, because he can do that role. I just feel a bit more confident with that. Defensively, I just feel like it makes us a bit more secure. But we'll still have an attacking edge. We demand more from the boys because we need to up the shot chances. But hopefully the way we are, we'll get more opportunities to get the ball. We are having a few more chances here. Arsenal and Newcastle still 0-0. We are approaching the final 10. Let's make another couple of changes. And let's just get the team a little bit fresher. Right, Tapia's not had a good one. He has had a good run recently, but he's a bit camera shy, which is a bit frustrating. We'll bring Lewis Murray on because we know that he's good for a random big performance. Dorica, again, has not had a good game. I don't really have the personnel to do anything unless I bring David Raum on. And you know what? It's crazy, but I'm going to do it. Swap these two rounds. And I will just have them both as central defenders. I don't really worry about a cover defender when it's set up like that. Quentin Timber can lurk there as that. These two can get a bit wide. He can pass the ball around. In fact, I'm dropping him to support. And Mount can go attacking. Right. Get out there and make a difference. 10 minutes left. Fire the boys up. Okay. United have a throw. Let's steal the ball off of them if we can. Swarm around him and just get the ball. Right, Capital into Josic. Van Ilsen. He's got players over on the other side, but Eric Garcia's intercepted. He's looked for Pinamonti, and Washington Louise has just dealt with it really well. Right, Heidel now. Out to Louise. Louise out to Benford. Again, former Southampton player. We did have him for a season on loan. Didn't really do a lot, but he has grown since then. Right, Eric Garcia. We have possession. Albergi into Mounts. Timber. Looking for Sabozlai. Finds him. Ratcliffe. Looking for a pass through, but we get possession again. Sabozlai's in here. Oh my word. Sabozlai was in. And we had the chance to win it. We're into added time. It's 0-0 in the Newcastle-Arsenal game. Right. We avoid defeat. The only thing that messes this up is an Arsenal win. No Arsenal win. We're in the Champions League. Balearic stays. All is good. That's a heck of a result, especially considering the Southampton game. Arsenal-Newcastle finish 0-0. It's the ideal result. We avoid defeat, and Arsenal cannot beat Newcastle. And if Newcastle had won, well, it wouldn't have been enough anyway. We are through to the Champions League next season. We've got budgets as well. That's workable. That's workable. I wasn't expecting a lot, to be honest, because we spent a lot of money this season. I mean, the wage budget is higher than what we've got now, which is good. We've got £75 million to play with. Which, I mean, we've got work to do on this squad. I mean, remember, we need a left back because Raum is leaving the club at the end of the season. He's retiring. We are going to lose Van Eyden. We're going to lose Murray. We're going to lose Benson Kerr. Not that they all played. We're going to get rid of a co-match. He hasn't really done a lot. Then we've got the old guys who we need to do something with anyway. But we do also have youngsters who I think are all still 2-star players. I mean, we've got him as a backup goalkeeper. But yeah, all of the really good youngsters are still 2-star players apart from the keeper. So I think we need to really think about what we're going to do next season with that money. Because in all honesty, it's not going to go very far. Not with the quality of players that's out there. We might need to make a big sale. We might need to sell a superstar. I want to get Eric Garcia out of the club because although he played well in that game, normally he's quite trash. But that is a result. We finished the season 4th. Demetrius slips down to 3rd in the clean sheet chart, but it's still better than Hoyenhal's ever really been, if we're being honest. Pinamonti's top in assists, which blows my mind. He's second best player in the league. Our top goal scorers in the league were Ratcliffe and Pinamonti, both on 19 goals each. I mean, that is a passing of the torch if I've ever seen it. Alan Skinner all the way down here. So, that is where we'll leave it. And in the next episode, we will do a season review. But somehow, some way, we've ended up bottling it, but recovering it. We bottled it massively in February. But then somehow we've recovered to finish in the Champions League spots. Didn't make it easy for ourselves. Southampton also do scrape through into the Europa. I think that's going to be the Europa Conference League. But they managed to get through to Europe. That's the main thing. So they don't have a complete collapse. Pep Guardiola did get sacked this season there, by the way. So obviously didn't do as good a job as me. Who could, though? Anyway, that's going to do it for today. So thank you very much for watching. But until the next video... I messed that up completely, but I'll see you then. I'll see you in the next video. I've been Stu. You guys have been awesome. Thank you very much for watching. And don't forget to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. And I'll see you next time. Cheers.